Assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings. I pray that you all are well and in the best of health and spirits. It is your sister, Denise Renee Muhammad, aromatherapist, along with my brother Sean Ali of Supreme Health and Fitness by Sean Ali. We're coming on for our health and wellness power hour today. So as you come in, go ahead and share the video, share the video, sharing is caring. And our
Be safe,
our
son.
topic today is what is really causing that protruding
Mm,
midsection. We have
mm,
some answers for you. All right, so that is
mm.
our topic today, Brother Sean. Assalamu alaikum, and how are you, sir?
Oh, well, Lakem Assalam. All is well, alive, and doing what God blessed me to do, to
Yes,
live.
sir. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, I'm excited about this topic. I can't wait
Mm.
to get into it because you text me what you had found and it was like, wow, I didn't even know that. So, let's discuss this. You know, a lot of us women deal with this. You know, we go on these diets, we exercise, we're eating right, but it's still for some reason that midsection seems to be stubborn and doesn't want to go away. So let's get into your findings on that subject.
Right, right. And like you said, and it's not necessarily they are doing something wrong. It's the approach. And we've had a previous show, well, previous times we've talked about weight, how to control it.
Hmm.
And if you can know you're overweight or you could know something is wrong, but what you think it is might not be it. So when you try to go to treat it, you don't get the results that you expect,
Right.
right? So being a health practitioner, healthcare practitioner, you know, sometimes I gotta go beyond what they describe, and I look at how and the body is created and how it works, and that's how you can come up with the best results for your therapy and your treatments. So
Right.
when we're looking at that belly or that enlarged area, when it comes to what we are about to talk about today, it really doesn't even have anything to do with your stomach or your intestines or your digestive system. Because it's two main ways that these enlarged bellies usually are the root cause. The first one is paniculus.
Paniculus.
Paniculus. And when we are looking at paniculus, that is when you see that body type, and this is not used a lot, most often is with pregnant women, but this is in men as well, because usually this not is not just from pregnancy, but it's also from when you gain weight and you lose it and you have this excess skin, right? So
Yes.
in right, you'll have that body type where, and this is what they call today, y'all women call this a fupa.
Oh, what?
A fupa, right?
Fupa.
So, right, because this would be that overhanging part. Like if this is the butt, this is the buttocks, right? So if this is the buttocks, you're looking at it from the side, that profile look, right? This is that overhanging skin. This is that excessive skin cell. Usually, when you gain weight and you lose it the wrong way,
Right.
because this when you gain weight, your skin loses its elasticity, right? Like a rubber band. The more you
Hmm.
stretch it out, the it loses that elasticity. It doesn't have that snapback, that comeback,
Right.
right?
Right.
When you do that, if you remove it step by step, instead of a rapid weight loss, you allow your skin to heal on its way back.
Mm.
So when you're looking at the fupa, the number one problem is that you have gravity. The number one problem is gravity is always pulling on this extra skin. So
Right.
now when you right, so your muscles don't get a chance to heal because gravity is always pulling it up. So when you're looking at paniculus, they say you can't, the number one way of getting rid of the paniculus is a paniculectomy. And ectomy means removal, right?
Right.
When you go and they remove something. So, and they cut off that excess skin and give you that thin stomach. Another thing that you can do, a more natural aspect, and this is depending on, especially on the condition and how much you have. But I'm just showing you a different approach, right? For those that can't get the surgery, don't want to get the surgery,
Right.
but you want to do something in the meantime to improve your physical body, because it's not necessary. It is a health issue because, like I said, this gravity is pulling, your spine is here, so you are going against you in it, from interferent back problems, your digestive, you have problems with using the bathroom, you have problems with your pelvis, with your
Wow.
hips, because it's a counterbalance, and you're throwing that out of you're constantly fighting to hold yourself up. But the muscles, these and the muscles in the skin cells that are here, they don't have a chance to rest. They don't have a chance to even be, because your body is designed to heal itself automatically.
Right.
So since gravity is always pulling it, it's always being stretched. So as you go on and on and on, it's being stretched more and more and more. It's already lost its elasticity when you gain the weight, right? Whether
Right.
it's from pregnancy or from being just overweight. It's already stretching and losing its elasticity. So when you have gravity pulling, what they call stretch marks, when you
Yes.
have gravity constantly pulling on this tissue here, it's you always inflamed, you constantly have discomfort, and you, like I said, you affect all of these internal organs that's connected to it. So if you had that fupa sticking off, it would be that pouch looking like that. So all of these organs are being pulled and stressed and distressed in that state, right? So the body, those body compressors, the body,
Body
what do they call
shaper.
them, sis?
Body shaper.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Waist trainers.
In I now the the training part is when you get a chance to push and hold all of that in. See, so now you give all of these tissues that we just talked about that's constantly activated a time to rest. A
Right.
time. So when you wear that waist trainer and you no longer have gravity pulling and stretching and pulling and stretching, now you have a chance for that material to relax, repair, and heal. So
Right.
when you take it off, yes, some of that material has been held in place, but you see constant results because you have healing going on. See, this is injury. That's why it's in red, because this is constant inflammation, constant hurt, constant uh, um pulling, constant stretching.
Right.
So the skin, that skin cells never have a chance to rest to regain their elasticity. So when you, like I said, you put that waist trainer on and you hold all of that in, right? It's not,
So
you want
does,
to do go, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, brother Sean. Does
No, go.
that holding all of that in, is that counterproductive, or does that hurt anything from? using it?
No,
No.
no, no. We're not doing it. We're doing it medicinally, not cosmetically. So this ain't so I can have the hot girls, some of the hot boys. This ain't. This is so. And paniculus is all. And like I said, other what I'm describing now is the side effects or the downside of paniculus. But this is just extra skin, so it's more cosmetic or with
Okay.
the tummy tuck. When you hear of a tummy tuck, that's
Right.
the cosmetic version of a paniculectomy. So the
Okay.
paniculectomy, they don't do a liposuction. They just remove that skin, and now you go through the regular getting a healthy lifestyle to get your body back in proportion.
Right. We
But
have
a
another
tummy tuck,
question, Brother
go,
Sean,
uh-huh.
from Brother Bo. Assalamu alaikum. Is this something that expecting mothers should be concerned about?
Yes. If you don't see, and this comes from not leading an active lifestyle. So the skin
Mhm.
is, remember, the skin are a bunch of cells bonded together. It's not,
Right.
they call it one organ, but it's literally not. Nothing is one thing. So it's a bunch of atoms, it's a bunch of cells, it's a bunch of molecules, all being these little elements working together. And because they are so small, it appears as one thing. So when you're looking at this sensation, this is a pull on the fabric of them cells bonding together, of those atoms bonding together. So if you don't previously exercise, when you go through pregnancy or when you go through weight gain, you're going to develop those stretch marks, those that where your skin loses its elasticity. And I'm only saying stretch marks because we all know men and women have I got stretch marks on my body.
Right.
So it's that's a e and that's when your skin stretches improperly, too
Mm-hmm.
fast, abnormally, right?
Right.
And since I can't get pregnant, it's weight it's gaining weight, right? It's me putting
Right.
on too much material,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So right. So yes, expecting mothers. Now the other because I mean we can always come back to this, but the other way is diastasis, diastasis recti, diastasis recti. Diastasis means separate. Recti is the rectal muscles that in your abdomen. So when you the way the abdomen is shaped, like when you see that six pack, right?
Right.
So when you got that midsection and you see that six pack right here, in here, in between here is cartilage. I should have did that in another color. Hold on.
And while
Now
you're,
the red the go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Brother Sean. I'll wait.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead, sis. I'm listening to you.
The brother wants to know, is this something that men should be concerned about?
Yes. 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 When you're looking at that six pack, well, you got more than six, but we just going, everybody knows that six pack,
Right.
right? So in between the muscle tissue, you got the cartilage, right? Material. Now, and this is something during pregnancy. We sis, the first photo with the diagram on there.
Okay. Is it this one?
When this is yes. Now, when we are looking at this, right? It said when the different variations of diastasis recti. So you got it when this area is stretched abnormally, right? And usually this is from a lack of exercise previously, pregnancy, gaining weight. It tears that cartilage or them ligaments in between. So you can have, and it can manifest or present in different areas of your abdomen. You can have it
Right.
below, midsection, high, or you can have it in your whole abdomen. There's another pit. Can you go to the next one? Because there's one where the one with the human with the real people on there.
Yes. Let's see.
Right. Okay. Now, in real life, this is different variations of diastasis or recti. So you can it can it can present in many different ways on the abdomen, depending on how it was caused. So when you're looking at that, if you have a stomach that resembles one of those, that's it. Now, okay, now this one is a little bit different than the paniculus because now, sis, can you go to
Yes.
the next slide? Yeah,
Okay.
because I want to see your approach to diastasis recti is not the same as paniculus, right?
Right.
Can you do us the honor, sis?
Yes. Hold on. Let me. Okay. It's hard for me to see it. It says when having more than one child makes this. Dang, I can't see it, brother Sean.
Hold on, I got it. Having more than one child makes this condition more likely, especially if they're close in age. You're also more likely to get it if you're over 35 when pregnant, or you're having a heavy baby, or twins, triplets, or more. Pregnancy puts so much pressure on the belly that sometimes the muscle in front can't keep their shape. Diastasis means separation. Recti refers to your ab muscles called the rectus abdominis. When the ab muscles move aside like this, the uterus, bowels, and other organs have only a thin band of connective tissue in front to hold them in place. So now, all right, you can remove that one, sis. When we're looking at this, like that diagram showed, when that connective tissue is spread and open, see, it's gravity constantly pulling on these because the intestines, they're it's like a sac. They're held in that perineum. So it's
Right.
a protective, it's a little thin covering that holds them in. It's like a sac that they grow in and develop in. But
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing holding these up. So gravity is always pulling your intestines and your stomach and all of that stuff down and out.
Right.
So, and that's where your abdomens come in at, because that's what the muscle system that holds them in place. When that connective tissue that holds the muscles is torn, that's when you have that overcoming of gravity. Now, remember, gravity was a play in Paniculus.
Yes.
Gra- Gravity is at play in diastasis recti. Now they have a slide that shows the do's and don'ts. Can you get that one, please? Because then once we see your approach may be hurting you, as we'll show you right here.
That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Can you see that one?
Let me see. I'm doing it on my phone. It's harder for me to see it.
Oh yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. If you can do it.
Okay, let me see. Oh, the condition also can cause lower back pain, constipation, and urine leaking. It can even make it harder to breathe and to move normally. It's rare, but in extreme cases, the tissue may tear, organs may poke out of the opening. That's called a hernia. Wow. The muscle opening. Okay, now do's and don'ts, because I want to really focus on that.
Yeah.
Don't strain. It can make matters worse. Constipation and heavy lifting lifting heavy things, including your children. Strain that connective tissue. Standing up and sitting down also count as heavy lifting in this case because you're lifting your body weight. Now,
Wow.
can you hit the next slide real quick, sis? And that'll
Yeah.
be the last slide.
Okay.
It says you push down when giving birth, but if done wrong, the action puts big pressure on the weak belly tissue. Do be careful with exercise. Some routine fitness moves, including crunches, y'all listen now, sit
Yeah.
ups, push ups, press ups, that plank challenge. Look, front planks make
Right.
abdominal separation worse.
Wow.
So can swimming, some yoga push it poses like that downward dog, and
Mm.
doing anything on your hands and knees. Some trainers may suggest those exercises for women with abdominal separation, not knowing what could happen. Wow, listen.
Wow.
So this is not, see, this is a difference between medical science, physiology, anatomy, and what you get at a gym, a personal trainer. I'm not throwing, and this is, come on, this is not me making, this is the
Right.
level of education, not ability, the level of education. So when you have this diastasis recti,
Mm-hmm.
and see, you are in a state of injury. It's a separation of that connective tissue. So when you are doing things to put extra strain on them, you are creating more and more injury.
Yes.
How
But
does the how does yes, go ahead. I'm sorry.
we have a question here, Sister
Mhm.
Cassandra. She asks, is exercising more important to help with this or proper diet?
Both, but it's the right exercise.
Right.
It's exercise that doesn't put strain on these already injured abdominal muscles and tissues.
Right.
That's the main thing to understand that this area is injured. When you have diastasis recti, that's an injury.
Mhm.
So this is
So what
where
would
the
be the
body
proper exercises? What would be
walking,
the best form of exercise is what taught, huh?
anything that's not on that list that we read. Oh, we it's a dues on there. I'm sorry, but
Yes, let me bring that up. She wants to
yeah,
see that
yeah.
again, that slide. I'm gonna bring it
Go
back up.
ahead. This is the information we find for y'all here, man. I'm trying to tell you,
Right.
we find solutions here. Okay, so it says, do heal your belly. Physical therapists don't have one standard guideline on what moves will bring the belly muscles back into line. Some research found success with the Tupler technique. It involves certain exercise done while wearing a belly splint, which protects and holds. Now, that is what I was going to say back to that waist trainer,
Right.
right? I'm not, you're not wearing it to squeak. Look, I, if you look at this anatomy. This is a replica of a how you really look. You don't have a small waist like that. Yes,
Right.
there are some people in some tribes, some branches of DNA that have that, just like you have some branches that have big breasts, some branches that have big buttocks. So all don't. All women, all of y'all. So if you try to look like somebody other than what your DNA, what your anatomy suggests, you might get yourself in trouble, right? As your brother, I'm just saying that, right? So when we are looking at your natural waistline, women, you have more body fat than men
Right.
because you have your breast tissue, which is mainly body fat. You have your hips, your buttocks, right? You have your womanly curves and things like that. We love that, right? It's this is not something that you did necessarily eating or drinking. This is a lack of for women that's growing up, you younger women, you haven't had children yet, or this is the importance of exercising now. You already condition these abdominal muscles. They are already in shape. This connective tissue is already as healthy as it can be. So when this area goes to expand for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
it can easily or it can come back and reconnect, and you don't have adverse effects or looks or physical
Abnormal.
abnormal growing.
Right.
Right.
Awesome.
So this that waste now remember this is a connective issue. Don't put that strain on this area. You don't have to develop a six pack. You have to let your body heal. Let it recover. And then once it's at that condition, then you can go and you can start to shape it.
Working on that. Yes.
Yes, yes.
We have another question. How do you get old fecal matter to move?
Movie. That's listen, I'm glad you asked it. It's called, see, I did a video on this. It's called peristalsis. Peristalsis. That's how your GI tract moves. This is involuntary movement. This is involuntary movement. These are the convulsions that moves the food down your GI tract through your stomach, right? And
Right.
once it gets into your small intestines, it it's no compulsion moving it like the veins and arteries. So this peristalsis happens when you move. So by you moving and walking, those hips they're gyrating, right?
Right.
And and that action causes peristalsis. It causes those convulsions. So
To
you go
move.
from an involuntary movement to a voluntary movement. Now you move. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all how to take over, man.
Right.
Yourself.
Move something, huh?
Mm, mm.
That's the mantra.
Take of the book. Look,
Move
this is how if you
something.
want to know how you can get old fecal, the old feet. Look, you having a problem with your large intestines. So when it comes up, you're at your your ascending colon. Your transverse colon is where the most of the water, last bits of water is removed, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it's in that descending colon, that's where the bile is removed, and that's where that final stool is being formed before it's going into the sigmoid colon. And once it gets into the sigmoid colon, you got the rectum where it goes out to your anus to be removed. Now, this a lack of exercise, a lack of moving, cardiovascular walking. You don't have that motion that's pushing that fecal matter out.
Right.
So it gets stuck there. And this can expand. So getting stuck there is nothing. You need fiber to form that stool, and you got to have water. So you want to make sure your electrolytes, your water intake, and your fiber intake are where they should be before
Right.
you try to start anything. But walking is what creates that gyration, that movement,
Mm-hmm.
that peristalsis. Right.
Right. Right. That
See
makes
how we just
sense.
give you answers
Yeah.
on the spot like that? Come on, man.
That makes
Come
sense.
on, and I'm
And
trying to
then
show
that
you
further,
right here.
that gives more clarity on when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that walking is the
Mm,
best form of exercise.
hmm
So
And
I
that's like
like
your
it.
lymph. The green on this section here represents the lymph nodes. They don't have a pulse either. So your lymph nodes work off of motion as well. Their job is to pull mostly liquid water from the cells. It'll grab some waste material as well, but the when you look at a cadaver, you can't find these lymph canals. You'll find the lymph nodes because
Mhm.
they're translucent because they're usually full of water.
Right.
So their job is to pull water from the cells, but it's based off of you moving that
Right.
creates that motion that it right. And when it gets to these nodes, it'll get stuck from a lack of movement to push it out.
Right.
See, okay.
Awesome. So, brother says, so eating navy beans is a must by it being fiber. Yes.
hmm You're
Yes.
getting your fiber.
Absolutely.
Yep. The
Fruits.
skin, the skin of fruits.
Hmm.
You know, yeah. hmm You get that. That's that undigestible matter that
Right.
turns into the stool. Right.
Right.
That's where the stool comes in at. Right.
Hmm.
So a high fiber diet will cause constipation, but the average cause of constipation is lack of exercise.
Right. Not moving.
Man,
So it
I'm
can't
trying to
move.
man.
Yes, sir.
Yo.
Praise be to
But
Allah.
so when we're and that contributes, okay, now when you're looking at that diastasis recti and that panniculus, your diet has, I mean, it's not just usually those that have a diet lack of exercise and a poor diet usually go hand in hand, right? So you know, if you don't know how to eat and how your body works, the stomach can sit there and fill up. It can sit there and fill up with food. Boom. It's like a balloon. It'll blow up and it'll blow up and it'll keep blowing
Go.
up. But this is your caloric sphincter. It's you got your esophageal sphincter and you got your caloric sphincter. They keep the
Mhm.
stomach closed, right?
Right.
So what causes the caloric sphincter to open and release food is peristalsis. So if you don't move, you won't cause that caloric sphincter to open and push food out. So food will sit here, and your stomach, which is the size of your fist, will expand up to 4 times its size because you ate and you sit still.
Wow.
See,
Wow.
now this caloric sphincter, it only releases approximately 3 milliliters of food at a time. So it's not a one-way street because this has the gastric acid, which is the material coming out of your stomach is 3.5,
Hmm.
3.2, very, very acidic. So your liver, your gallbladder sends bile, your pancreas sends fluid into the small intestines to neutralize the gastric juices to make it 7 and 8 on the pH. So now your small intestines can digest it. But so, in order to protect your small intestines, it only releases a little bit of fluid at a time, a little bit of material at a time, 3 milliliters. And because it gives your time, your so material can sit in your stomach for a very, very, very long
long time.
time.
And is that the cause of heartburn, Brother Sean? From the food sitting?
Yeah, and
Could
that
that be?
and yes, yes, you got lack. So all of that acid juice, your if your stomach is steadily secreting acid juice, and you're not moving, and you keep eating. So the more you eat, the more acid juice it has
You know
to
what I'm saying?
produce to right. So in it's not nothing coming out. So as this is filling up, it's filling up not just with food, but with acid, gastric acid.
Mm-hmm.
And that this sphincter, that esophageal sphincter will open up and release.
Right.
Man, and it's right here behind the heart. So when it hits that heart and it inflames that heart tissue, you think you're having a heart attack because that gastric juices burn. Look, your esophagus is coming right behind your heart.
Mm.
So when that acid hits that canal, see this tube is porous. So those
Right.
gastric juices can leak out of your that leaky gut syndrome, but your
Mm.
esophagus can leak it out too, right? And it hits that heart and it burns the heart.
Wow.
Think of the heart. I couldn't find my heart, man. So
Lost your
yeah,
heart.
right. And it's hitting it's hitting the back of your heart, and you be oh, I'm having a no. You get to the emergency room and they take your blood test, do an EKG, ECG, and they see that your heart is normal, that it was just acid reflux, heartburn.
Okay. You there, Brother Sean?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. 'Cause I don't know what happened. I guess
I saw you fade out for a second.
yeah, we faded out and
Mm.
yeah, we're gonna wrap it up because I think
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
battery's
yeah.
going low.
Got you,
uh
got you.
divers divers I don't know how to say this, but diverticulosis runs in my family, mother, sister, and nephew.
Hmm.
What may cause this? Diverticulosis?
That's and
I've heard of it. I know I'm not pronouncing it right.
that's when that material because it's 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 of several things that can cause it. Number one is lack of mastication. You're not chewing your food enough, so the material that's coming down is too big. The big material can find its way through your intestines, and
Mm-hmm.
it can get enlarged, and it can cause inflammation, right?
Right.
So any lack of movement is what, remember, all of this is moving off of peristalsis. So a lack of exercise is what mainly causes and gives all of this material time to bother you
Yes.
because it's not being pushed, it's not being forced through your body. So
Right.
if you leading a sedentary lifestyle is what it just gives that material time to collect and bother you.
Wow.
Take note of the foods you eat when you have this particular occurrence. So if you eat certain things and they cause this, then you got your solution right there. Don't
Right.
eat the foods that cause that inflammation. If I
Right.
mean, there's nothing you can't. Now you can take a Tums and all of that other stuff to prevent the reaction, but you're getting a reaction to something you're doing or put in your body.
Right.
So if you don't stop putting that stuff in your body, that's the only way to stop that reaction, that action.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Absolutely.
But give me a call. We can break it down. Look, give your brother. We got this is a legitimate business that
Right. All right, family. We are going to wrap it up because I don't want this thing to shut down
yes.
on us. So this is a great place to put a pin in it, and we will come back, inshallah, on Saturday for Saturday Self Care Health and Wellness Power Hour. All right.
Awesome.
Yes, sir. That was awesome, Brother Sean. Great
Yes,
questions
yes.
from
Yes,
our
family. Great
audience. Thank
questions.
you
Great
all.
participation. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for tuning in, and thank you all for asking those questions to make us go deeper and get those answers. It's been wonderful. All right.
Yes. Awesome.
Any closing comments? All right, I can see that being the case. They always told me to sit down, be still. No way. Thank you both. They told her to sit down and be still. So she did.
Move something. Get up.
Right. Brother and sister, thank you so very much. May Allah continue to bless you. Thank you, Brother Bo Mo. All right, family. Brother Sean, any closing words?
Thank you all for tuning in. We love you. We thank you. All praises due to Allah.
Absolutely. Assalamu alaikum, family.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes, sir.